Hello and welcome to the Dad and Sons podcast entertainment media product. I have with me, as always, my two lovely co-hosts, Liam Edwards and Matt Visual.
Why, hello there.
Hello.
I'm George Weedman, on the other hand, and I would like to inform us of a revolutionary new product. This
wait, have we just got a new sponsorship? Is this what is that what's happening here, George?
I have to admit, we are not being officially sponsored by this. I am just so jazzed to bring us news of a new lineup of gamer goo.
But we do endorse it.
We absolutely positively endorse this gamer goo that showed up in my inbox the other day. And I just wanted to read out loud the press release I got here. Banish sweaty palms forever with this specially formulated gaming lotion. Check out our new video below, which highlights 3 enticing new aromas available now. You know it makes sense. And they have sense spelled with a C, so it's like smelly sense. Gamer goo brings common sense and all new scents to gamers' hands. Gamer Goo, makers of the world's only dedicated gaming lotion, today announced the launch of 3 all-new scents to its range of uniquely innovative products. Joining the already popular orange, peppermint, and cinnamon varieties are the sweet summer smell of vanilla sugar, the enticing allure of teakwood, and the captivating fragrance of cherry blossom. The new scents are all available to purchase now, shipping worldwide via the Gamer Goo website. An innovation in gaming skincare, and the only product of its type dedicated to enhancing performance of gamers. Gamer Goo is designed to improve the gamer grip, as well as increasing accuracy and dexterity by reducing sweat and clammy hands forever. Oh god, I had too much coffee. The unique Gamer Goo formula leaves behind no greasy or damaging residue and won't damage controllers, keyboards, mice, or accessories. And then they have a link to a YouTube video that has less than 300 views, no likes, and a single lone solitary dislike.
Because they need a live actor in order to make this just funnier.
But you can see that they don't have one. They just have a camera panning across a tube of goo sitting.
Stop sweaty hands at the source. Yeah,
thicker,
that's not healthy. You're not supposed to stop sweat like that all over your body. Is it only your hands or just? He said lotion.
Sweating, right? Yeah, it's like, is it a moisturizer or a dryerizer?
You don't
dryerizer.
There's so many gamers that don't use lotion, let me tell you, because they're dry everywhere. So they're not going to know what to do with this. They might put this everywhere. Like, oh, I want to smell like gamer goo. And they end up going to the hospital or something. I don't know. This doesn't seem it's natural to sweat.
What are you going to say to the people in the emergency room when you have a gamer goo emergency?
Goo emergency.
Doctor, I didn't know what to do with the gamer goo, and now my dick fell off.
Doctor, it's the goo again.
Professional gamers and participants in esports will be all too familiar with the debilitating symptoms which can result from intense gaming. Namely, a rapid buildup of sweat during heated play. Are they sure about that? Wait, do you guys do that? Does everyone in the world sweat profusely all over themselves when playing video games except me?
No, I don't sweat at all.
Yeah, what's the deal? What's the market here? What's their demographic?
I could be different. I can't just say the whole world is like me and Liam.
Sure, right.
Right. Like, Liam, you sweat? You don't sweat, right?
I do sweat. I mean, I live in one of the most humid places in the world.
But what about when like sitting in a chair playing a game?
Like, not on my hands, but if they have like gamer goo for the crotch.
Yeah, I mean, I would say use vanilla sugar. You know, I think that
talcum powder, right? Like baby powder.
I don't know if it's baby powder.
Like a
be more like KY jelly.
Clap that shit in your hands.
The special formulation, only offered by Gamer Goo, keeps hands dry, cool, and sweat-free, allowing the gamer to perform at their best for hours on end. A simple
yeah.
pea-sized application is all. I should probably clarify that that's PEA, not PEE. A simple pea-sized application is all that's needed to keep fresh and one step ahead of the competition. Oh shit! Maybe this is what I need to keep my KD ratio in Rainbow Six Siege positive. Oh fuck, man, Matt! If only we knew about Gamer Goo, we would have been winning all those Apex Legends we were playing the other month.
Obviously, getting my chicken dinners, right? Yeah. So we need Gamer Goo, those gamer glasses, the all the Razer
Gamer
products,
Grub.
all the Corsair products,
Guzzle down your gamer fuel in your hands moisturized by Gamer Goo.
Doritos.
Holy shit! I actually have a gamer chair. I forgot about that thing.
Oh my god.
It makes me laugh because it probably does actually make a difference. Like, it just nobody's paid attention whatsoever.
Well, they say in the email that this is used by many professional gamers. Gamer Goo is the secret weapon to ensuring an edge over the competition.
None who have bothered to promote our 300 viewed video.
Yeah, I don't see like them dropping any names or endorsements or anything.
Ninja uses
Oh my
it.
god, are they going to get like an extra 300 views from this podcast?
Probably.
Oh,
More like an
my-
extra 100, if even.
Such a pessimist.
Quote, gamers around the
That
globe.
would still be 1/3 of their entire view count.
Jesus Christ.
I mean,
I don't want to be mean about it, but yeah, I kind of really just sort of walked my way into this, didn't I? I'm being a little, this is a little mean.
What
for
is mean
Gamer
is
Goo?
the fact that you were super excited. You talked all day about this intro. You were like, guys, I've got it. And it's like, cool, George, we
This
trust
is
you.
it,
No?
George.
It's been 2 weeks. It's been 2 weeks. Hit him, George. I got it, guys. Gamer Goo.
Fuck yes.
You know that new sound you've been looking for?
Gamer Goo.
They just squirt
Goo,
Gamer
goo.
Goo into the phone. Gamers around the globe are fast discovering the benefits that Gamer Goo provides to performance. Our community has welcomed our unique range with open and sweat-free hands and
Why
love the
goo?
distinct fragrances our products offer, says Justin Clark, co-founder of Gamer Goo.
Why goo? Like, why?
I don't
When it comes to like naming something, why?
Yeah.
Like right now, why not like high performing
No.
lubricant?
No, that
oil?
doesn't roll off the tongue, man.
know,
Gamer
guys. When I think of Gamer Goo, I
Neither does like
definitely do not
Razer
think
Black
of
Widow
this.
9000 keyboard, but you know.
Wait, well, you think about lotion being involved, but you don't really think about the lotion being the goo, right? The thing that really drives it home is gamer. It says gamer in like pixelated like font, and then you see goo, and it's just
Oh, it's
a little
goopy.
wet.
It's slimy.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
it's like-
that's weird.
Like an icky Halloween gross out font.
So like a slime, like a flubber toy.
Yeah, no. They they had to know. They had to know.
I'm glad they didn't name it Gamer Gunk or Gamer Goop.
I feel like Gamer Gunk is something that's happened.
Yeah.
I'm
We
not
just talked about
glad
Gamer
that they
Gunk.
named it Gamer Goo either. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying it could be worse.
You are. That's why we've spent fucking 10 minutes talking about it.
We should write a comment. There's only one dislike on this. That's it. No likes.
No comment.
It was
One
George.
It wasn't me. I swear I didn't give the Gamer Goo the single dislike that they have on their Gamer Goo video.
New sense. Wait, there's more?
I guess there was a preview. Yeah, that's the other thing about this press release is that it implies that this is like an existing product that has been extended.
There's
There was
more.
Gamer Goo in the world, and people just didn't know until now.
It's this fast delivery.
Oh, that's good.
Dominate
I wanna-
the
I
competition.
need my goo now.
Yeah, I'm in the mood. I need my Gamer Goo within the next like 10 to 30 minutes.
Gamer Goo peppermint, orange, cinnamon.
So that way you can think about the candy store when you're shooting people.
Gamer Goo Sports Goo. I don't know why they named it like that twice. But yeah, that's one. Jesus. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, that's
They have stickers too. They have stickers.
Oh, good. Because I really want to let people know that I love my gamer goo, that I keep it in a tube by the computer.
We should try and get sent some. We should try it.
Oh,
We should go the whole way. The whole
God! Yeah,
we need to
but
try it.
Remember what happened when we tried to get David Hayter to do a dumb podcast intro?
What is this? What do you mean? He's gonna listen to this episode. That's what he's gonna do. He's gonna listen to.
Oh my god, yeah. And he's gonna think we hate him now.
David Hayter, quit denying our request for a dumb podcast intro and come do it.
David, we were willing to pay you $60, man. 60 freaking smackaroos. What's wrong with you?
He increased the price to $75 after the first attempt.
He was like, this'll fucking push those guys
Come
away.
on, David Hayter. Is our money not good enough?
You don't realize we have George Super Bunny Metal Gear Weedman.
Single-handedly took down Konami.
And Liam, I know Jeremy Blaustein Edwards.
Yeah. Two of us know Jeremy Blaustein. Come on. For the love of all that is Christ.
The name dropping. I'm over here holding my pretzel. All right.
At least you're not holding your tube of gamer goo. Oh man. So yeah, welcome back. Well, this is nice. We got a fun week planned ahead of us. Yeah, we
just have to get this out the way first.
We got fun video games.
Look, David, I'll buy you some lunch, man.
as well as pay him $75.
There we go. I feel like we tried everything now.
Yes. How could he say no?
How can he say no?
But yeah, we're back after a week break to let Liam play some Fire Emblem.
Well, yeah, I guess.
How is it? How is Fuego Emblemas Tres Casas?
Wow.
Fuegos Emblem Tres Casas. Casa. Okay. Is this where we're in?
Yep, we're doing it.
First into this
we're talking about gamer games now instead of gamer goo.
Well, guys, let me tell you. We took a week off. I played a lot of Fire Emblem. It required a lot of gamer goo. My hands are like 2 pieces of sandpaper. They're so dry and no moisture coming out of these
that would
things.
be bad for your controllers, wouldn't it? Just like sandpapering your Switch?
You're so dry.
Gross.
Yeah. All your skin just falling all over your Switch.
Oh, the gamer
You see like a little pile of flakes underneath the spot where you sit when you get up at the end of a session.
Oh, the worst part is if you're using the gamer gear and you're like holding a controller and like you've got a little bit more than a pea size on your hands and it goes like underneath your analog sticks or something, and then like a year later you find like crusty old gamer goo hidden away in some crevice of your controller.
It's all like dried up and clammy.
I've been playing Fire Emblem 3 Houses. I have thoughts, as usual.
Let's hear the thoughts.
Where to start?
Do you think I would like it?
Yes.
Yay!
I think so. But I think you'd have the same problems I have with it. I literally think you'd have the same issues I have with it. First off the bat, I imagine everybody wants to know what house I chose, because obviously the unique thing about 3 Houses, if you didn't know, is it takes place in a school. You somehow are a professor who's pretty much the same age as all of your students, just so you can get away with fucking them behind closed doors.
Do you really fuck your students as the professor?
Well, you have romantic relationships, yeah.
But that's the kind of situation where like age...
It's Fire Emblem, man.
Age is one factor, but so is the professional relationships and the power dynamics of being in a...
Fire Emblem goes one way, whether it's very much like trying to it is always constantly through text, where students are like, wow, I couldn't believe you're the professor. You're the same age as us. Oh, you are so young. You're the young... Like, it's always reinforcing that, don't worry, it's okay to hit on all of these students.
No, like, is there a dialogue option that's like, so, Catherine, you really want to pass this class, right?
Oh, no.
You know what to do.
God damn
Abuse
it.
of power, here I come. No. But there is a lot of, typical Fire Emblem stuff, which is romancing, creating partnerships, support, all that kind of good stuff. But yeah, so 3 houses. You have 3 houses. You have the Blue Lions, the Golden Deer,
Well, that's good.
and the Black Eagles. And the Golden Deer is run by this cocky, handsome prick called Claude.
Really?
Claude.
Oh.
He's a very handsome chap, and he's a bit of a joker. He's like your typical sort of sarcastic, pretty boy. And he's like a really good archer and all that. And you're like, ooh, I get what you're all about. And then you have Blue Lions, which is led by Dimitri. Dimitri is pretty much... he's like your goody two-shoes. Like, is this really justice? Can we really do this?
Is it really okay to be fucking our students?
Yeah. I really feel attracted to my professor.
Oh, so yeah.
Even though I'm the future king.
He's like a buzzkill. Okay.
Future king.
He's not so much a buzzkill. He does have a sense of humor to him, but he's very much the justice in all of this so far.
So does he try to stop all the student fucking?
No, he more facilitates the partnerships of everybody else. He's like, everybody should get along swimmingly. You're like, I know what you're up to, Dimitri. School orgy. That's what you're going for.
Whoa, man. Fire Emblem took a turn.
The last one you have is the Black Eagles, which is led by Elder God.
Jeez. Compensating much?
Who is a female.
So she's not Elder Goddess, she's an Elder God.
No. She basically leads who are essentially the Nazis.
Oh,
the
bad guys.
Empire. Not the bad guys, just, they're pseudo-German Frank Empire-esque.
And you get to play as her.
Well, you don't get to play as her. You can choose to look after her house. But she is kind of the, I'm the strongest. I'm better than everybody else. We don't need any help. We're great. Fuck you all. We're the best.
All right, so with all the student, relationships going on, you can play a boy or a girl.
Yeah, so as a professor, you can play as
okay.
a male or female professor called Byleth. Even though you can change the name, you can't change the appearance. And one of the first negatives, I'll say, is that every line of text in this game is voice acted by the other characters. And it's fantastic. Both in Japanese and English, it is an amazing localization job. It is a great voice acting job. All the characters are great. And I'll get into that in a minute. But Byleth, the main character, which you cannot change the appearance of, is like a character. For some reason, they went down that route with, Corin and Robin from the previous games. You could change the appearance of and stuff like that. And they didn't talk, which made sense because you customize the character, right? Whereas everybody calls you Professor, so it doesn't matter what your name is. But your character doesn't respond. It's like Link going through hundreds of dialogue boxes, talking to people fully voice acted, but doesn't talk back. And just has the most blank, emotionless animations.
In all the Zelda games, there's an implication that Link is responding. It'll fade to black, and then the character will be like, "Oh, that's the adventure you're on?"
Yeah, I mean, it does have that, but it's just so jarring because everybody else, and easily, Three Houses' biggest change. Fire Emblem's always been about characters, right? Advance Wars was more about the tactics, less the characters, and then Fire Emblem was it's tactics, but characters are really important. And it's all about getting to know the characters and all that kind of stuff, especially with Awakening and Fates. It has always been about that since then. And Three Houses goes that umpteenth level above to do that. And it does an amazing, spectacular job. The reason this game is getting so much praise is definitely down to this. It is amazing with its characters. Each character is fully fleshed out, has complete voice acting, has their own sort of cycles during the day where they appear and all this kind of stuff. It's fantastic. It's Persona level of greatness in that regard, I think. But what brings it down is the fact that your character just doesn't talk and doesn't have any emotion. And compared to all these amazingly well voice acted and fleshed out characters, you're like, why? Why do they do that? Why? And then you sort of play the game and you realize why. and you're like, it's because this game is terribly, terribly bad tech-wise.
Oh, are you talking about those fruit textures?
Oh my good lord. So, get it out of the way. Fire Emblem, it's great. Free houses, if you're interested in Fire Emblem, you like tactics games, you got a Switch, buy this game. It is fantastic. It is Fire Emblem. Fire Emblem is a formula you can't really...
How did the Battlefield graphics work? Do they still have sprites on a...
No, they have 3D models.
Nice. Okay, that'll be interesting to see.
So, this is the thing, right? It is a great game, and the whole school thing, like instructing your students and trying to like really min-max their classes and like giving them goals to aim for and stuff is really unique, and it's novel, and it doesn't really get boring because you're interacting with the characters so much. So that's great, and I like that. And then you get into the battles, and even though with like Awakening of Fates you were like battle, little bit of like camp support stuff, battle. In Three Houses you will do like 3 battles, maybe in the first 5 hours, if you're lucky. It is like flipped on its head. You don't do as much battling as you used to in other games, unless later on in the game you do more. But right now, as of current, during the schoolwork, the school takes precedent, and so does the story. Once you get into the battles, it's perfectly great Fire Emblem. It's awesome. It got rid of the weapon triangle system though, which is a bit of a miss, but it does make it a bit more challenging because you have to think about things. There's this new battalion system where you can have like a unit like as a leader.
Do they still have an undo button?
Yes, they have like kind of, you know how like Shadows of Valentia had the Miller's Turnwheel or whatever it was called?
Yeah.
Like it has a system like that in it.
Good.
Which is, I haven't really had to use so far because this game so far, even though I'm playing on Classic Hard, isn't that challenging so far. But I'm sure I'll have to use it at some point.
Yeah, that really makes a difference.
It's great. It's Fire Emblem. It's better. It's tweaked. It's great. All the stats, you can really feel the progress of each of your characters and all the units work together. It's great. But man, this game is ugly.
Oh no.
Ugly like your mama ugly.
Wow.
Ugly.
Wow.
Jeez, that was personal.
It's so ugly. Like the character, it's so... I've listened to a lot of people talk about it, and a lot of people like the style, and I get what they're saying. Like the character designs and every character stands out greatly because they have that cel-shaded like anime style, and it's awesome. It's great, and all the characters are unique and wonderful and whatever like that. It's typical Fire Emblem, what you've come to expect. But with the expansion of trying to do this 3D world and like the school and everything, tech-wise, it's a mess. It's so ugly. So ugly. Just Google some screenshots of gameplay. Like, George, you were talking about that fruit tweet, right?
Yeah.
Like, the fruit in the market is like an old PS2 mesh of like PNGs of apples.
Do you think it was a 3DS game at first that kind of had a...
No, I don't think so. I just think it was... I think it's probably been in development before the Switch came out. It wasn't aimed for 3DS. It was always aimed for the Switch. They just, maybe didn't know how to develop for it quite as well as they can now. But yeah, there's popping textures everywhere when you run around. And the problem is, like, you're running around this school, and the school just feels empty because it's like, you remember old PS2 RPGs? You think of, like, Final Fantasy X, right?
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful art direction and all that kind of stuff, which Fire Emblem for the school does not have. It's very plain stone buildings. But, you would go into basically box rooms, and it would just be the floor and the walls, and there would be no, like, 3D decorations or objects placed around because you couldn't have...
Like a lack of clutter.
Like a lack of clutter, right? Fire Emblem is the same. You'll walk into areas of the school and it just won't have anything. Like, it will be the walls and the floors and that's it, and maybe like a plant pot in the corner. Because they don't have like the memory or the optimization to like fully flesh this school out. So it just becomes like an empty husk. Like, they bank so much of the game on like you living in the school and doing all these things. Which is another thing. All of the actual quests you do in the school are fetch quests in which you teleport between all of them. They're super boring and pointless. So, like, while this game is really good, like a Fire Emblem game is good, like the battling and the characters and the supports and the conversations and the decisions you get to make, all of the new stuff, I have to admit, is just not that great.
At least
It's ugly.
Fire Emblem on the Switch.
Yeah, and I feel like that is cool. Being able to take this 3D Fire Emblem with me, and once you're in the battles and stuff, it's back into like, yeah, fuck yeah, this is a 9 out of 10 game. The battles are amazing, just like all Fire Emblems. And even when you go back to the school and you get to you get to go around the school talking to the students, it's awesome. It's just the other stuff they've tried to do. They've tried to do these like Persona-esque quests where you help people out after school and teach them to do stuff, but it's all like fade to black, pop in, deliver this, fetch quest this, go do this, and it's just like there's no substance to any of it. It is like time-killing chores just to grind stats out. And you're like, that is just a bit of a wasted opportunity. It's a bit of a swing and a miss.
There's a lot of that these days.
There is a lot in this game where it's just like, you were so close to something perfect, but you pulled it down a little bit.
When did developers decide that we want more boring fetch quests in video games?
I'll give you an example of how the game flow will run, right? So you have like a monthly calendar, and then on the Monday of every week, you choose to instruct your students. So then what you do is you choose that you have like action points, and you will choose the students you want to use those action points on, and they have goals, and then you will like teach them about certain things like sword arts or lance arts or bow arts or magic and all that kind of stuff, right? And that raises their stats. So you do that, you instruct them in this, and you carefully pick their goals to do this, and then they all level up. And as the days go through the week, there's like always a cutscene where you don't do anything, you just watch them studying. And then you'll get to Saturday, and Saturday you have like 4 choices. You can explore the school, which means you can do loads of fetch quests with people.
Oh, this is why people are calling it like Persona, because there's days of the week you gotta care about?
Yeah. And you have to carefully choose what you want to do, because you can't do everything.
Okay,
like
that's I've always liked those systems.
Yeah, it is cool like that. Like, you have to choose who are the people you want to focus on as well, because, you know, if you go explore, then you can talk to certain people, or if you have, like, a seminar, you can bring in guest professors to teach your students extra stats.
And pick them up.
Or you can do battles, and you can do, like, sub-battles, and grind, and get higher level experience. So you have to choose, and I always choose the battles for the most part, because it's the fun part of the game, and also you level up faster. But if you go and explore, you will be given like a main quest, which is always to talk to the house leader and do something. And then you will just walk around the school, like fetch questing things for people. Speak to somebody, teleport to the place where the item is, get the item, or talk to the person, and then teleport back. Yes, you can use your action points to like eat food with them and raise your bonds, but there's like just no substance to it whatsoever. Just give me more battles. Less school, more battles.
School is for fools.
Are you trying to say Persona is bad? Is that what you're saying, Liam? Persona? All the Personas are terrible?
No, because there's...
Damn, all the Personas? Not even one of them you like? Jesus.
Matt. 2 weeks, man. You couldn't hold off, eh? No, like, I don't know. I think I'm being massively negative because I'm such a fan of the series, and there is a great Fire Emblem game in there. Like, these are the best characters in any Fire Emblem game for me so far. They're amazing. I chose Blue Lions. I stuck with Goody Two Shoes Justice Boy Dimitri, and like, I'm loving the characters, and I'm loving the battles, and I'm loving the way they interact with each other. Petra, my best girl in the world. Goat. She's amazing. She can't talk English properly. She's got cute purple hair and she's great. And all the characters are amazing. Just give me like some substance with the gameplay outside of battles. Let me like, if you like, let's do cooking. Give me like a cooking mini game or something. Don't like fade to black and just like watch a pan raise some smoke.
Well, speaking of Matt having 2 weeks of pent up social aggression that needs to come out here. What have you been up to, Matt?
Wow. Well, I haven't done this in a while, and to be honest, I have no idea why, because I've been watching a lot of stuff. Netflix, no chill. I have a lot of sci-fi, so I'm gonna make this a sci-fi episode.
Wait.
Yeah.
Wait. You told us you were complaining last week that you didn't get a chance to talk about like your game of the year.
The best game ever.
Listen.
Best game you've ever played.
People want to
Changed your
hear
life.
some good TV to watch. Okay, I'm tired of you guys interrupting my Netflix no chill section. All right, I'll be quick. The I Am Mother. Watch that. That's fun. If you like robots, it's gonna wet your nipples just a tad. The OA season 2. You might want to stay away from season 2. Season 1, it was like, always on that line of almost believable. And then season 2, they just skyrocket into the space and whew.
You're gonna want some gamer goo for
definitely
that
want
one
some
for your
gamer goo.
nipples. They're not gonna be moist.
Yeah, Dark is pretty good. It has that feel of Lost where you just don't know where the hell is going on.
I've just finished season 1 of Dark, and I think it is like one of the best seasons of TV I've watched.
Really?
Yeah.
I
Did you watch it in German?
Yeah, of course. Come on.
Yeah, of course.
Like there's no other way. It's like watching anime where there's a lot of emotional scenes, and you just try to hear the American actors try to channel that, and it just doesn't sound good. Like, no.
Man, though, like Dark's use of music and
the music is phenomenal.
and cinematography is just like out of this world.
My problem is the carrot on the stick. That is a problem for me.
Is that the sound of gamer goo getting squirted out too hard?
So yeah, there's. I should a side mention The Nanny. That's a good show. You guys never heard of The Nanny?
I haven't heard of any of these.
The Nanny.
Dark is the best.
Oh my god. With Fran Fine? No? Okay.
Nanny.
Never mind. No one knows about good OTV shows. Okay, whatever.
Instead, we know about gamer goo.
Yeah.
We also want to know what Matt's like game of the year is.
Yeah, come on.
It's not game of the year. I just
You
really enjoyed it.
It's my game of the year.
I don't know. We gotta see that quote. Outer Wilds was pretty dope. I finished it. I would say the end for me was a little weird. I guess it couldn't end any other way. Just weird as hell. It's hard to end games like that, but it was good. I really enjoyed it. I was probably one of the best games I played this year that actually came out this year.
But that wasn't what you wanted to talk about.
I played. You guys are never gonna guess this one. This came out.
Can we try?
Yeah, September.
Give us some clues. We're bringing back the original game.
Late last year.
Okay.
Well, it's not RDR2.
It's RDR2.
No, we already talked about RDR2.
Matt didn't.
It has some. It's an RPG, like an actual RPG.
Easy.
It has some MMO elements.
Oh god.
Final Fantasy 14. The only game you need.
Hell no.
Oh god. I
Probably though around September. Yeah.
Wait. MMO elements.
Yeah, I don't remember anything fitting that description off the top of my head from late
Me
last year.
either. I didn't even know this existed.
Wait. I want to think.
Is it some really weird, obscure thing?
I don't think it's obscure. Like, let's see.
Octopath Traveler?
It has like a good, like 6,000. No, not Octopath. Like 6,000 reviews on Steam. Like, it's not that obscure.
Crosscode?
There it is.
What
Crosscode.
the hell is crosscode?
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah, this got really good reviews, right?
Yes. Okay, so it's a long game. It's an
RPG.
It is RPG. I can't say that it's because it makes you do some of these MMO quests because you are in an MMO. So you get some of that, like,
Wait, it's not really an MMO though, right?
it's not, but they have characters running around. You have players that you can invite to your party. Like they
Wait,
make
but
you
it's
feel
all single player?
it's all single player.
Interesting. So it like so it's like that goat simulator MMO.
I never played that one.
Man, my frame of reference is fucked.
Yes.
You started the podcast with Gamer Goo. We're not expecting much from you.
Even I'm not.
About time.
But the combat is fun. It has a huge tree.
It's all about speed, right? Like of every video I see, like people fucking like jumping
being
around
quick.
the world
Yeah.
at
This looks
insane pace.
A lot of dodging. You
A lot
can
of fun
parry.
explosions, it looks like.
Yeah,
How does
and
the combat work?
you have like a basic combo, but then you have like these arts that you can switch around, depending on which element you're on, and you always have like you have a lot of different like melee arts, throw arts. They're all different, and all of them can be switched. Guard arts when you're guarding, like when you guard, you can have one that puts a flame around you. You can have one that shoots out like a constant damaging wave. It's really really interesting, and you could do like different builds with that. Some things heal you, so you can have that and switch to something else to do some more damage. It's all like a balance between them all, and you can basically become all powerful with all that. It's pretty dope. The thing with this game though is the puzzles and how it's like short of brilliant. I don't know how to describe it. Like it's on like that line where you walk into a room and you're like, oh my god, what the hell is this? But it's not too hard. You can figure it out, and that satisfaction of you getting through it is always so good. They build you up to some of these puzzles. They start you with the concept, just like other games.
Yeah.
But the concept of it is so cool because it's like using what you already know, and you kind of stretch that across different puzzles, and it's so interesting to see. Like every dungeon, it's just like, what? Okay, okay, yeah, I get this. Except the wave thing. The wave thing annoyed me, but other than that one, it's pretty solid. The dungeons are pretty solid. I actually enjoyed the puzzles quite a lot, and the boss fights. The boss fights are also kind of like a puzzle, and it's incredible. And I think that's why it has high reviews. Like it's nuts, man. That game is great.
How did you end up playing it? Seems pretty out of your realm.
I was looking up for good indie RPGs.
Well, it has those MMO elements. That's Matt's thing.
Yeah, exactly. So it was like up my alley. That's like the only thing I would say that's annoying is, the quests. Some of these quests are kind of like, at least in the beginning, are really boring, or sort of boring, depending on what you like. But they're like MMO quests, and there's a little bit of goofiness to it. But overall, it's quests that, it's all right. But other than that, I really enjoy the game quite a bit, and it's a long game. Like it's probably like over 30 hours or so.
Damn.
Is it out on Switch now? I think it's already out on Switch.
Yeah, I think I saw a trailer when I was Googling for it.
I'm kind of intrigued. I remember looking at it last year and thinking, wow, this game is getting pretty high reviews and does look fun.
Its release date, yeah, it's just currently set to 2019 without anything more specific.
I'll probably wait for it to come out on Switch then, if it's already out.
They keep updating it as well. They keep changing some stuff and like making it better and stuff. So, all that's probably gonna get on Switch. They probably have a big update coming out with Switch because like they added the arena, stuff like that. I guess they're trying to make little things feel like an MMO. I don't know. It's cool. It's a good game. I recommend it if you're an MMO player and you want a good indie RPG to play, for sure. It's definitely scratching that itch real hard. I'm bleeding now.
Stop. Rub some gamer goo on it.
Oh God.
Don't.
The healing
Poison.
ointment too. Okay.
Ugh, gamer ointment. Ointment is such a gross word for such a like
Ointment.
nice, clean feel product. Ointment.
Yo, pass the ointment.
God, you can't say that without kind of
pass the ointments.
shrinking your tubes a bit harder than usual. Ointment. It's like it's nasally. It's like a few syllables off from just oinking like a pig.
Oh, oh.
All right, I
Oh,
got
a girl's coming over. Let me put on my gamer goo.
all right, I got a bunch of little smaller updates on several games I've been playing. Man, it feels like the end of an era over here. I finally finished Subnautica. I finally finished watching the HBO Rome series. I finally finished the Wargroove campaign.
You finally finished Ass
Wait.
Creed.
No, I'm still working on Ass Creed.
Okay, so it's not the end of an era, because
It's almost the end of an era. We're getting real close.
How do you play multiple games? How do you do that?
I had a bus ride to the parents' house, so I played Wargroove on the Switch, finished it up. Still, the campaign is the weakest part of that game, but it has steadily over the past year turned into like one of the most appreciated purchases I think I've made. There is so much content to go through here, and a lot of it is better than the campaign, including custom campaigns players have been making. There's little adorable remakes of Fire Emblem and Advance Wars in Wargroove.
That's adorable.
Yeah, you have the Wargroove cast playing Fire Emblem characters. So you remember how there was the dog, right?
Yeah.
The dog will just straight up talk in the role of like General Sid or whatever his name is from Advance Wars, and little stage play cutscenes that have the characters of Wargroove pretending that they're characters from other franchises. There's one custom campaign where you play as the dog going on a majestic adventure across the land getting pats from people, and it's really clever how this guy built it up. They'll have a cutscene where a character will be like, "Good boy, Caesar. Now who's the greatest Wargroove character in the world? Go left if it's me, go right if it's someone else." And then it'll put you in a map, and the victory condition will determine the left and right hand corners of the map will determine whether or not you meet the victory condition based off of a little quiz they give you in the cutscene. And there's no combat to that. It's a Boolean yes or no answer of a win condition, but it's still really clever to see some of the stuff people are building up in this thing. And after that, I also dug out the old 3DS and played some ancient stuff. I played more of RE Revelations, and that gets way different than what I was expecting. There's some Titanic style areas that look like the first class of that not John Carpenter. Who's the director of the Titanic movie from the 90s?
James Cameron.
I know it began with the J. It was JC someone. Oh my god, Bob JC. Yeah, there's some scenes that look like James Cameron's Titanic, where that first class area has these grand orange candlelit opera halls with black and white checkered floors, and with the survival horror motif, it gives this BioShock feel that is a totally different atmosphere than what the first introductory parts of the game throw you through. And good stuff. It's like good like budget Resident Evil. I played some demos. I played the demo for Azure Striker Gunvolt, which is like fine. It's weird to me, though, to think that this might have actually been a more polished, well-received product than Mighty Number 9, because I remember when this game first came out, it was kind of plugged into the promotional engine for that game instead.
It's made by a good studio.
Inti Creates, yeah, they also made Galgun, of all things. They made these like badass pixel art side scrollers, and then on their lineup is Galgun sticking out like a sore thumb.
They made the what is it? The Bloodstained spinoff?
Yes. Yeah, they have some good side scrollers in their stable, and then there's Galgun. Anyways, and then I played the demo for Detective Pikachu, and boy, oh boy, was that not what that name means nowadays. Have you guys played the 3DS game of Detective Pikachu?
No, I never played it.
Matt, any interest at all in
3DS game and
Detective Pikachu?
No.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's fine then, because there's a free demo where you can check it out and know for yourself that it's actually really disappointing.
I thought it was received okay over
I
there.
mean,
I think the novelty for some people was enough to carry its absent lack of gameplay.
maybe it's just different playing it in a post Detective Pikachu movie world. Because the Detective Pikachu movie had a great sense of humor and irony and self awareness and art direction and development to it that this game has none of. It's very clearly made for kids, but it's still patronizing in how easy the investigative puzzles are and how much is explained to you in a very simple, almost patronizing language style. It does not use the 3D at all. It's a completely 2D title on the 3DS, and that's weird. That's strange. There's no main menu or options menu in the game. I kept getting really paranoid whether or not I was actually allowed to leave or whatnot, and how the autosave systems works, because you can't press start and get a pause menu with the save and quit function. Yeah, I don't know. Like Professor Layton for 4-year-olds is kind of what it feels like. And the art style looks really flat and plastic and soulless. Like the townspeople NPCs look like they're from Sonic Unleashed, like they're an off-brand DreamWorks. They don't have a visually stylish Japanese flair to them, nor do they have the kind of irony and humor that the quote unquote live action Pokemon of the Detective Pikachu movie do. It's all plastic toys in a plastic toy world where everything is too clean and also lacking clutter. And I spent the most time over the past week trying to get into Rome Total War 2.
Yeah, you've been live streaming it, right?
Yeah, I have, and I gave it a shot. I'm really interested in the Three Kingdoms game that just came
Are
out.
you not the commander you once thought you were?
No, not in this one at least. The AI in pathfinding has a lot of units completely forgetting the orders I'm giving them.
A good commander doesn't blame his soldiers.
I'm installing a total conversion mod called Divide et Impere, and I wonder if that'll fix some of the problems. If not, I'm just gonna move on. But the thing, I really loved the original game when I was a kid. It had such a great sense of flavor and place. You would click on a town and see a 1/3 of the screen all of a sudden pop up with the town management screen that had renders of the buildings. You would hear flavor ambient audio, like you'd click the town and you'd hear crowd noises and a horse whinnying and wheels of carts going on cobbled streets. And here the towns, you don't have to click on them. They're like little spreadsheet graphs that are permanently stamped on your UI at all times. And the management system uses a drop down menu style. Like it's based off of a lot of mouse rollover that causes inaccurate misclicks and bad mouse movements that I didn't want to do that end up getting rid of menus, because you don't click on an icon in the interface to make a drop down menu appear. You roll over it and it drops up. And it's a tiny, tiny little square on my 1440p display that is so easy to ever so slightly nudge my mouse out of the way, and it doesn't toggle these menus on the screen. It's all determined by mouse rollover rather than mouse clicking, and that's how the hell. I'm seriously wondering if there's an option that I missed in the options menu that fixes this, because I don't understand how they would have thought this was okay. Because if you barely bump the mouse, you all of a sudden I delete your menus away into the void of history, and yeah, I'll keep it going. I'm starting up a new RPG called Age of Decadence that also has the Rome antiquity theme going on, and I'll probably be talking more about that next week. But yeah,
You just want to get your Rome fix.
I
Isn't it?
really do.
You just want your Roman. You're like a weird Roman fetish.
A Romaboo? I'm totally going through a Romaboo phase right now.
A Romaboo phase.
Yeah, no, Rome explains a surprising amount of modern history that are.
Matt's playing like an RPG. He's going through his weeaboo phase. Now you're like
Wow.
Romaboo phase.
Yeah, and I'm okay with this.
This was made by some Germans, I think. So excuse
Yeah,
me.
it was like a Kickstarter, wasn't it? Crosscode,
Yeah.
originally, or an Indiegogo, or whatever it was.
Oh, they used to be the Holy Roman Empire.
So you're a German boo.
Sorry if it wasn't German.
I don't know.
I know somewhere over there.
Somewhere over there.
I'm trying to look. How do you look for that? How do you? I guess.
How do you look for what? Creators of a video game?
Yeah, where they're located. I'm not.
I usually Google the developer and then type in headquarters. And a lot of times Wikipedia will have it listed, but if you Google for headquarters, it'll also bring you to their about page on their website where they will list where they're from. Does it have voice acting in German, or is it like originally written in German? Was it originally made in English?
No voice acting. No voice acting. All reading.
I remember the Gothic games from Piranha Bytes definitely had some weird English translations, but it makes me a little sad sometimes when these foreign developed games are not made for their like own original native language first.
That's why watching Dark in German is a fucking great experience.
Yeah. Oh, it's good.
Subs over dubs, folks. Subs over dubs.
Subdubs.
But yeah, I've been playing a lot more games than usual, and don't want to focus on any one of them too much though, because I don't want to run us out of time here.
I think you should play Fire Emblem though, George.
I bet I would really like it. Like, I just finished Wargroove, and that totally, I don't know if I want to say it scratched a Fire Emblem itch, because it really did just make me want to play an actual Fire Emblem game.
This is definitely like different,
Mm.
but you should try it. And I want to see what house you choose, mostly because I just want to see what house you choose. I want to know what type of person you are.
I loved Fire Emblem Echoes to death, and I miss it already. And I wanna get back into that itch of like something about preserving units and marching them in formations and keeping massive amounts of people alive is like, it's really satisfying. It makes you feel like, Liam, you were talking in the stream actually about how this stuff can make you feel smart when the game really comes together, and I love that feeling.
That's why I like strategy tactic games. But it's like when I watched a little bit of you playing Total War, and don't get me wrong, anybody who likes those games, it's great for you, and I wish I could do that. It just is too much. And I imagine if you pull that kind of stuff off in like Rome Total War and all that, you feel like a god. Like a god. Truly a god. Even Fire Emblem, just getting 2 units who have a good enough support to like nick 3 HP extra off an enemy to save you from certain death on the next turn makes you feel like the smartest dude in the world.
Yeah.
Like, you have a look at their passive stats, and you're like, there's like a character called Sylvain, and then like if he's next to a woman, he has like a +3 defense or something.
Wait, really?
Like,
that's how he works?
Yeah. Because he's like a playboy. Like, his personality, like a lot of the
So he has like a trait status, pickup artist, +3 morale when next to women.
Yeah, that's what's really good about this Fire Emblem. It is all about the characters. It's not like the other games were great. You'd recruit them based on the class, though. You'd be like, oh yeah, this guy's like a ninja. I want a fucking ninja. That'd be amazing. But this is like, no, Sylvain is like who he is. He's like playboy. He's like always talking about like hitting on women and stuff. He's a bit of a skis bag. But his like passive stat is that he can like perform better when he's like next to a woman, and you're like, okay,
There might be girls watching. You gotta try extra harder.
exactly. So like, you try and put him next to a woman all the time, and there was a time when he got attacked and he like had extra defense that saved his ass because he was next to a female unit.
Wow.
It was amazing.
What a clever
And it
video
made
game.
me, as the commander, feel smart.
Cool. Well, I will probably be picking it up at some point over the next few weeks. Until then, that's
Gotta get it in before Astral Chain comes out this month. Oh god, it's August 1st today. Oh no.
Until then, that's our Gamer Goo and our games of the week. We'll be getting into news.
Games you do week.
News and listener questions after this following break.
Has Tony Hawk gone insane? Tricking off a fire truck? A cop car? And freeway traffic? It's Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 with 8 massive living levels that let you trick off of everything. Choose from 13 skaters, create a skater, a skate park, even play online.
Hey, Liam.
Hello there.
You ever have any nightmares about old school or workplace drama that comes back to you in your sleep?
Are you asking me if Rockstar have a trained sniper on me right now?
Yeah, we're gonna be getting into something about one of your former employers for this week's news.
I wish I had employees.
Yeah, Rockstar North which is the Edinburgh office in the UK, is in the news this week for taking advantage of a tax relief program that has seen them go without paying corporate tax in the UK for over the past decade. There is a tax relief program that's designed to take advantage of medium to smaller sized game developers that have games that have something to do with British culture. But as it turns out, Rockstar North's GTA 5, which is a very American-feeling game that takes place in a parody American city, qualified and had them receive a benefit in about £42 million in tax credits that amounts to about 19% of the total relief paid to the entire UK game industry since 2014. If you guys want to take a look at what it takes to earn £20 billion in tax credits, there is a list that you can go to on the bfi.org website that lists what it takes to qualify, and it surprisingly lacks. I don't know what sort of dream game ideas we have in mind here, but if your game takes place in the UK or an EEA state...
Well, I mean, it doesn't have to, because GTA proves it doesn't have to.
It doesn't have to, but you need 16 points, and you get 4 points if you set your game in the UK or an EEA state. And so when I was reading this, I was thinking, EEA state, I don't know what that terminology means. I assume it's some, like something to do with Britain or the UK, some provincial division of territory among the islands there. And no, it turns out that that's basically the European Union. It's the European Economic Area, which includes Austria, Belgium, Bulgaria, Croatia, Republic of Cyprus, Czech Republic, Denmark, Estonia,
So still
Finland,
not
France,
America.
Germany, Greece, Hungary, Ireland, Latvia, Lithuania, Luxembourg, Malta, Netherlands, Poland, Portugal, Romania, Slovakia. Basically Europe. If the game takes place in Europe, you're good.
But GTA doesn't.
No. Are the lead characters British or EEA citizens or residents? Which seems kind of redundant.
GTA 5's has none.
No, it also seems redundant for the previous category, which is taking place in a setting where the characters would be from that setting, right? Third qualifier is the video game's based on British subject matter or relates to an EEA state or underlying material, which again seems totally redundant and just like the previous two questions. You can get 4 points for that. The next 4 points comes from original dialogue recorded mainly in English or one of the 6 UK indigenous languages, which I highly doubt is going to mean it's going to find an audience. But yeah, using the English language gets you 4 out of the 16 points you need to qualify for this tax credit. 4 more points comes if the video game represents or reflects British creativity, British heritage, or diversity. The only one of these that I could see it qualifying for, well, definitely using the English language, but also the video game based on British subject matter. I wonder if they tried to make the argument that it's a satirical outlook on American culture from a British perspective.
That's what it is. That's how they frame it.
And a lot of people don't realize that. When I was tweeting about this, I got people in replies who had assumed that the game was made in Rockstar's New York or LA offices, and that is not the case with GTA, as Liam can attest.
I mean, technically the guys who write it in New York, but they are 2 British guys.
And the core development, though, is the Edinburgh studio with its 360...
Say that again.
But no, you're gonna make fun of me.
Edinburgh.
God, no, I can't. No.
Edinburgh.
All right.
Edinburgh.
Let's get back to
Rockstar North is in Edinburgh, and they are the core GTA 5 studio, yes. Or GTA studio in general. They're the core development studio. They were the first Rockstar office. They are what DMA Designs were when they made Lemmings and the original GTA, and then the Hauser brothers came in, changed it into Rockstar, and that's where it all began.
And GTA is regarded as such a American-centric thing nowadays that it's hard to forget, or hard to remember, actually.
One of the most defining cowboy games of all time, RDR and RDR2, Rockstar North have a giant poster of Arthur Morgan on the front of their office, and it says Red Dead Redemption 2, underneath it, made in Scotland. They have it right on the front of their office.
Remember when the original GTA had an expansion pack that took place in London?
Mm-hmm. GTA London.
Not many people do. So we get more points towards our tax credit if at least 50% of the conceptual development or storyboarding or programming or design takes place in the UK, which they would absolutely qualify for.
Yes, 100%.
At least 50% of the music recording or audio production or voice recording takes place in the UK. I don't know.
No, I don't
about
think that happens.
Yeah.
No, because the it's made by Laszlo, and Laszlo is in America.
And they license mostly American music for their soundtracks, right?
They make the radio studios definitely in America.
So we got conceptual development. We got credits for that. We got original dialogue recorded mainly in English. So we got 6 out of 16. Section D of this tax credit requires your personnel to be project leaders, script writers, composers, artists, programmers, designers. If at least one of the 7 key HODs is an EEA citizen or resident, you also get points for that. I just Googled search for what HOD could stand for, and that's Halkik Organ Donor Society, a religious organization founded in 2001 by Robert Berman by increasing donation to Jews from the general public.
I don't think it's really that, is it?
If at least 50% of the development team are European citizens or residents, you get points too. So that's how they got it. Because they used the English language and most of the development was in Britain. And with a cheat sheet like that, it seems like it would be hard as hell for any game made in Europe, much less Britain or the UK. Wait, no, isn't that like kind of the same thing?
No, because the tax credit would only happen in the UK. The British taxes don't apply in Europe. That doesn't mean anything.
So they would need a distribution office, some kind of shell company over there. Which is how it works. Like, you guys remember that video I made on the tax breaks Activision was getting by just having an office with no one in it in the Netherlands opened up. Jesus.
So this is Rockstar North. We're specifically talking about Rockstar North. We're talking about one of the 3 or 4 Rockstar studios in the UK that had the tax break.
That did the core development work for the highest grossing media of all time.
Yep, and they don't pay above minimum wage for QA or lower staff.
Jeez.
It's disgusting.
Jeez.
It's disgusting. The only way you earn a livable wage for Rockstar, well, back in the day, I don't know if it's the same now, but was to work overtime, which was mandatory. So it was a broken system.
And of course, this is all very legal and very encouraged. If you've ever taken an economics course in a college, there's a lot of mental gymnastics they teach you about how these business people justify it, how economic rationality is basically reducing your entire consciousness to that of a robot crunching the numbers and morally justifying whatever the maximized profit math you need to do is. I'm sure we pay our taxes.
Yeah, I pay my. I'm fine. That's a bad joke. No.
You mean you wish you did?
I wish I didn't. I wish I could trump it up, but I can't. I can't do that.
No,
they'll come after me.
We can't trump it up.
Coming after me quick.
Did you guys read that New York Times piece about how during the 90s Trump was actually had the largest losses of any American in his tax forms? Anyways,
wait. I want to ask: do you think at least the UK developers seen a little check come in the mail because of this?
Oh, yeah, totally. They got a credit for it. They didn't pay taxes. They got a credit for it, 42 million.
Not the bigwig guys, not the. Yeah.
Oh, you mean by
The
developers, you mean actual sitting at a
yes.
computer developing video games
Yes.
developers.
No. I imagine some of them did. I mean, it depends on your position.
Okay. Because they're the reason why they got it, so.
That trickle-down economy doesn't work.
Okay.
No, it's just Take-Two will just, like, make as much money as you can in any way possible. And that seems like the easiest way.
Right.
I mean, as George laid it out, fucking easy. Easy money.
Easy
Legal, easy money. Morally bankrupt, but sure.
And
whatever.
over here in the States, this is exactly the fucking reason why it's so hard to budget for a national healthcare program.
Oh man. One day.
What else is going on in the world?
One day.
Bethesda had a bad week. I'm sure you guys have seen the memes on Twitter this past week. Oh, you know what this means? I missed a fantastic opportunity to make a joke about how you need a Bethesda.net login to continue this podcast. Oh my,
That's the story of your YouTube career.
Okay, Liam. Okay. You need a Bethesda.net login to make that joke.
That was a pretty good retort.
Bethesda released some new Doom ports. Everyone was really excited for a couple hours, and then everyone got really mad for the next 2 days.
Because you have to log into a game from like 1993.
Yeah. Okay, I guess we could turn this into a conversation about our favorite ones. It really clicked with me how sad this is when I saw Mario getting to Toad at the end of a castle in Super Mario 1, and Toad's just like, thanks, but you need a Bethesda.net account to continue.
What is the world coming to?
They also removed the Xbox 360 era Xbox Live Arcade versions of Doom 1 and 2 from the backwards compatibility program. So for a couple days, if you were an Xbone owner, you had to go through some hoops to re-download a version of Doom that you might have already purchased that was supposed to be working on your system. That the gamer outrage at the time was assuming that this was to prompt people to rebuy the game on the newer versions. But Bethesda's claiming that this is all a glitch. Bethesda released a statement about 2 days later for the Xbox Live Arcade versions, saying that there was an error with the functionality today, but this has been fixed. A day after the Doom ports released and got all this negative publicity for the Bethesda login, they said that this Bethesda login was an unexpected requirement. The login should be optional, and we are working on changing the requirement to optional now. The Bethesda.net login was included for the Slayers Club to reward members for playing the classic Doom games.
The Slayers Club!
How does something like that I assume gets tested in the QA department hundreds of times to make sure the logins work, how in the world can the higher-ups then claim that this was supposed to be optional all along when they made like a Unity wrapper for Doom to include this login screen? Yeah, you were like saying, what is the world coming to? And it's depressing. I was talking about this Total War game earlier, and to launch it, you have to launch through a secondary layer of a launcher that has all the DLCs and other sequels in the franchise that are grayed out if you haven't purchased them. It's like you can skip past it and then go to the main menu screen and try to ignore it, but it's a reminder. It's so much more greedy than it was before. Everything is. Wolfenstein Youngblood also came out, got sort of mixed reviews. I'm a little bit interested, might pick it up with a friend when it's on the cheap. But those mixed reviews cited a leveling system that has a lot of the enemies in the game overpowered above the game's normal difficulty curve. And in a typical Borderlands-style looter-shooter, there would be some prize hidden behind these enemies, but since it's still working off of the framework of the current Wolfenstein, what's supposed to be a trilogy, there's not a like loot treasure RPG system, even though these enemies are leveled above the character's abilities via a experience grindy RPG system. You can circumvent that curve by killing more enemies or purchasing with real money premium gold bars. They released a patch. The very first patch that this game got was a hotfix specifically designed to prevent players from using Cheat Engine to spawn coins that are going to smooth that difficulty curve, which is a breach of the game's EULA, and also considered a workaround of something that they want you to spend real money on. So of course this is legal and encouraged, but it's so discouraging how much more greedy video games are than they were before.
Yeah.
This follows up a previous story that we did not talk about, but it was a little interesting to me because it's related to Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Ubisoft did a moderation number on player-created custom campaigns that were designed to give you an exploit of easy leveling and easy XP, because that game also features microtransactions that can help smooth out a difficulty curve of enemies that are awfully leveled above where you're going to be in the main quest. This is something that was a big roadblock for me when I was playing this game. I had to talk to someone in Twitch chat to figure out a fun way to keep myself busy and maintain my way through the leveling curve, which was a weird, kind of out-of-the-way checklist task of completing locations that have you stealing treasure and killing captains and forts in the game. But if you follow the main quest and do a couple side quests in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, you're eventually gonna hit a wall that will give you a subconscious, subliminal pull towards the microtransaction shop, unless you grind your way through some checklisty secondary objectives that the Twitch viewer had to inform me of that makes it feel a lot smoother. The game's still so incredibly long and so repetitive and grindy despite that, even though it is fun. But they banned stuff that was exploiting and cheating this system that they made, that they stand to have a profit motive. There's so many things that just make me sad when thinking about video games, like the microtransactions, the always online stuff, the anti-SJW propaganda that's so popular with the kids these days. Like, it's just a bummer.
No words.
Like the combination of all of the above, the creative bankruptcy of it, AAA franchises that go on forever, AAA studios that are only making like 6 to 8 games nowadays anyway, the overinflated budgets of it, the executive overpay, it genuinely just makes games less fun. Or maybe I really am old and the kids still enjoy them as much as I used to.
I think a lot of them are able to just block it out, and a lot don't realize that it used to be better. And that does sound like an old person's thing, but it did kind of used to be better.
Yeah.
There's a lot of culture about things now that just, like, back in the day would have been unacceptable. Like, would have risen pitchforks and pyres to burn people for suggesting such nonsense sometimes.
I just can't help but shake the feeling that in the previous Rome Total War game I was playing, yes, the graphics were worse, but there was a greater level of polish and coherency to the whole experience that's not there in the latest version. Have you guys had issues with Joy-Con drift on your Nintendo Switches?
I have actually not. What
about you, Matt?
No. Hold up. What is Joy-Con drift?
It's when the
It's the new Fast and the Furious movie.
It's when the analog sticks are moving when you're not touching it. I've seen a glitch similar to this happen in Wargroove, but not in any other games. So I'm wondering how common the problem really is. The three of us only can have anecdotal experience, but Nintendo, yes.
Hey, mine doesn't charge properly at all. At all.
So there's still something.
Yeah. They're not working correctly for sure. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Joy-Cons are, for as much as I like them ergonomically, they are internally
they're trash.
And for as awesome and wonderful and incredibly successful as the Switch console has been, I think we have all commented on how the build quality feels a little below Nintendo's usual standard.
Feels one little drop and it's gone. It's gone.
Yeah, but ergonomically, I think it's very nice.
Nintendo is facing a class action lawsuit over this, filed in the United States. They're alleging that Joy-Con controllers are defective because after time, they can begin drifting, causing movement from an analog stick even if the user is not controlling it at the time. They are seeking more Nintendo Switch fans in the US to join in the class action lawsuit, so there is an online form you can fill out with a few simple questions, such as asking the age of your Switch and your Joy-Con, when the drifting problem begins occurring, and whether Nintendo has been made aware. Nintendo declined to comment on the lawsuit. I guess if this is something that you are facing, you can fill out their forms and get a little bit of money out of it if they win.
Yeah, and it's little. Don't expect a huge.
I'm thinking of filling out the forms to see if I qualify for that $120 for the Equifax breach. I could spend that on a game and some groceries.
Yeah, for sure.
1/4 of a health insurance.
Yeah, that's like a visit to the doctor for me. 120. A visit.
Jeez.
All right.
Jesus.
I'm being specific here. I'm not talking about blood tests or anything. That's how it is, man. The listeners know already. I've been on like 2 rants at least.
Let's brighten up the attitude with some questions.
Yeah.
from those listeners.
Hey.
If you want
The
to
best types.
if you want to cheer us up,
Wow.
are you a monkey?
Just before we dive into this, I promised I would mention it. Big shout out to somebody I thought, and all 3 of us thought, would murder me before tonight.
Oh, okay.
Oh no.
To Franklin, who is a dad or son listener of the show, who messaged me on Twitter asking if I would like to meet him in Kyoto, which is always a, lovely and partially scary message to get from anybody you've never met before. But shout out to Franklin.
Hey, Liam, you want to meet in Kyoto?
You wanna come eat chicken with me? No, thank you, Franklin. I promised I would give you your fair dues on the show. Thank you so much for the beers and the food. And also, before we jump in more to correspondence from our lovely audience, I will be at PAX West.
Oh, you will be going.
I will be going to Papa Liam is coming to America. I am living Eddie Murphy's dream, and I'm coming to America. PAX West, Seattle. I'll be there. If you are a listener of the show, I will be at PAX West. Please come find me. Come talk to me. I might also have my boss, Dylan Cuthbert, with me, who made Star Fox. So that's interesting. Come find us at PAX, because I'd be intrigued to meet some of you. Anyway.
Every time I meet someone like that, I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, that's cool. Like, I didn't play Star Fox, so...
I generally enjoy meeting fans. I tend to have like a nice like lunch or something with them. Props though for actually asking permission and scheduling it ahead of time and not just approaching me in an airport.
Oh no, not that story again. No.
Yeah, let's move on from that story to
they're a good friend. They're a nice, respectful fans out there. Franklin, you were one of them. Not airport person.
Don't stalk your favorite podcast and YouTube celebrities, kids.
Definitely just YouTube.
I'm sure the McElroy brothers and Joe Rogan, I'm sure they have stalkers.
Well, yeah, but there's a difference between Joe Rogan and us.
They're famous. Because they're worth a damn.
I mean, he had Neil Tyson. Come on his podcast. All right?
I can't wait for like the day Matt is like eating at his favorite sushi restaurant and some dude just walks up to him and was like, "You're Matt Visual." And you're like, "Oh,
no, I'm not."
It happened in Atlanta a few times when I was working at Micro
Oh
Center.
yeah, that's right.
At Micro Center, yeah.
Don't do that, guys. Don't approach them without letting them know first.
No, it was fine. It was unexpected. They didn't know that I worked there. They're like, oh.
Well, even if it is, it's like
No, I don't care. I don't care, guys, at all.
Yeah,
George does.
Well, you know, I've had my airport girl story, so that definitely.
Approach with a knife with George.
Yeah.
Hey!
For your own protection.
If you want to send us questions, comments, and suggestions, then log on to the internet and type out an email to dadandsonspodcast@gmail.com.
Oh man.
Here we go again.
We've got one from Aubrey G.
Oh, Aubrey's cool. Aubrey's cool.
Hey boys, you said you needed some questions, so here's a random one. What is the earliest memory of what you wanted to be when you grew up? Did you ever try to pursue that dream at the time?
I have a very good answer to this.
Let's
I know
hear it.
exactly what I wanted to be. Other than making games, of course, but when I was a kid, that wasn't a realistic possibility because everybody would tell you can't make any fucking money out of video games. You had a kid won $3 million this week for winning a Fortnite tournament. Anyway, regardless of that, I wanted to be... Now, don't Google this, you two.
Okay.
This is
That's
a guess.
really hard for me to resist the temptation because, you know, I'm Googling like everything we talk about.
I wanted to be a herpetologist.
Herpetologist?
Oh, I want to work on herpes.
Guess it. Don't Google it.
Yeah, first guess is a herpy doctor.
Of course. Get the natural one out of the way. No, it's not. It's a type of animal.
A harp doctor. You work on the strings as they break.
Don't Google it. I can fucking hear you. No. Harp, that would be a harpetologist.
I'm just trying to avoid it. All right, harp.
Like, I'm trying to think of the Greek, like, Hermes plus...
You are not that smart, don't
No,
try.
I'm not. I don't know what it is.
It's a person who studies reptiles.
Wow, I never would have
Ah.
guessed that.
So, like snakes and lizards. So, when I was a kid, of course, my hero, Big Steve Owen, coming from the land down under to brighten our lives and teach us about crocodiles and snakes and spiders and stuff.
May he rest in peace.
Exactly. He was my hero. And there was another guy, a guy called Mark Hughes, maybe his name was. He had a show on Discovery and he was a herpetologist, but he was a British guy and he worked at a university in the UK as a herpetologist. And for years and years and years, I knew I wanted to be a herpetologist. I had pet snakes and I wanted to go study at his university for years and years and years. But then it all changed and I didn't do that. I ended up going to do animation. And my first day of animation in college, I was in the media room and the big TV was on for my first ever lecture. And it was like ticker tape at the bottom, BBC News. Breaking news! Steve Owen's dead.
Oh no.
And then my dream died that
Oh
day.
no.
Oh no.
But I enjoyed it. I still have a very... not so much anymore, but I have a great fondness for snakes. And when I was a kid, I knew exactly what I wanted to do. Like, it's super weird thinking back on it, but that's all I wanted to do. Of course, make games, but, you know, your parents tell you, that's not a real job. But then studying ant reptiles was fine by my parents. But yeah, no, that was definitely my earliest memory of what I wanted to do. Like, 100% was, like, dead cert.
That's a fun thing for a kid to picture. I imagine it branches off into all sorts of
I
interesting...
remember making PowerPoint presentations trying to convince my parents to let me have a pet snake.
You made a PowerPoint presentation?
Yeah,
That's some next level stuff. Wow.
and it worked.
What?
I wish I was that smart.
It works. I got my pet snake, Roxy.
Pet snake.
Roxy was a royal python. She was adorable.
I remember a Wii U commercial where kids put together a PowerPoint presentation trying to convince their parents to buy them a Wii U, and it was played off like a silly joke that would only happen in fiction.
Well, those kids' PowerPoint probably sucks then.
Jeez, I feel inadequate now.
It's all about the presentation.
Matt, what did you want to be when you grew up?
A sidekick on a podcast.
Yeah.
Oh no.
You and me both, Matt. We achieved that dream together.
I wouldn't say anything too interesting. Pretty basic. This is because I was mesmerized by like games. Like I grew up with it. Being able to create something and put that on a TV would be nuts to me as a kid, like thinking about it. And I did go to college for a bit for it. So like I pursued that and then didn't. But yeah, that's the only thing I can really think of that I really tried to pursue. Because I mean, you have thoughts all the time about what you would like to be when you're in high school or a kid. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I wasn't really at a young age. There was like other things on my mind at the time. I don't know.
Before I wanted to be a video games journalist, the very first thing I wanted to be when I grew up was a fighter pilot.
Wow.
Yeah, I thought planes were super cool for like a good chunk of my childhood. And
Can you imagine George doing the George scream while flying a plane?
they're like listening in and
shooting down a drone or something like.
You know, yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, like, I think for my kids, I'm going to make sure they have different things in front of them to show, like, there's different jobs. You know, like, oh, you can be an astronaut, you can be a doctor, you can be anything you want. Be anything you want. Because I don't think I had that as a kid, and I think that's why. So I had to, like, make up my own stuff. Because I definitely didn't want to be an astronaut as a kid. I don't know why, but I didn't want to be the whole doctor astronaut stuff. I wanted to create as a kid. So, but I definitely should do that for my kids later on.
What was the like job you thought was the coolest job? Like, not coolest in the sense like being a game designer or like an astronaut or making films or whatever, right? But a job you thought, man, that is a sweet gig. I always thought working in a comic book store would be the sweetest gig in the world.
Yeah.
Oh.
There was a store near me called Level 1, and it was like video game Warhammer comic book store, and I always thought like working in there would be the sweetest gig in the world when I was a kid.
That's like so very illustrative of the differences between childhood and adulthood.
Yeah.
Probably
Now you wouldn't catch me dead
a music store.
in one.
Yeah,
Right?
a music store. When I would go in there and buy my CDs, because I love music then, I love music now. Shoot, I played drums for a bit.
I guess the thing is, as a kid, you haven't yet experienced what soul-crushing repetition is like.
Yeah.
Because, like, a day a week working a store would be great. It's the 40-hour grind that turns it into
the retail.
such a chore.
Yeah. The variety of people, which is fun and bad at the same time.
Like, I just remember how much that hit me hard after my first 3 days or so working a summer job. I was like, oh my God, I'm doing the same thing every day for 8 hours at a time.
I can't do it. No fulfillment. I started to get antsy.
Harlan K asks, Dear Dad and Sons, can you eat the beans inside of a beanbag chair?
Yes.
Wait, what? You can?
No, I don't. I have no idea. I just want them to try.
Nick D asks, Dear Dad and Sons, what's up with this special feeling that comes from buying games on the first day of release? Do you feel like anything is lost when a game is bought on sale a few months later?
Not for me.
I definitely am somebody who applies to that. I definitely feel...
I'm getting ready for a rant.
I definitely feel like the lust of the hype train. I like the hype train. Whether it's wrong or right, I still like it. I still like, right now, being a part of everybody's Fire Emblem hype. I like being able to be a part of that. But I don't think anything's lost buying a game on sale later, because by then you already don't care. But there are games I feel like I won't pick up, even though I wanted to initially. Like Super Mario Maker 2. Probably not going to buy Mario Maker 2 now. Even if it goes on sale. It feels like, to me, that boat has passed.
Yeah.
I want to say that this special feeling you're talking about is absolutely a well-documented phenomenon that really does exist. There's this old, like, philosopher type guy named John Baudrillard who developed this concept of how people really do get a sense of pleasure that comes from consuming things. And you have an incentive to buy games new now, especially now in the age of social media, where you can engage in a conversation with the community as everyone discovers it at the same time. And it's a legitimately cool thing that I have felt many times. And
And the FOMO is real, man.
it's a sense of discovery, like walking into the unknown with hundreds of other people at the same time. Like, you totally lose out on something if you weren't there playing Dark Souls in the very beginning, when people didn't really know how to do Sin's Fortress, what was in store at Sin's Fortress. And I wish I was there for that.
Like, I think in recent memory, like when everybody was bought a Switch and was playing Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Like, everybody was playing Breath of the Wild, and it was like a moment in time.
I would not be surprised if it's just a legitimately, objectively different experience playing Breath of the Wild a year after launch than during launch.
I don't think it's ever detrimental to the game, ever. I don't think it is. I think it's detrimental to the culture landscape of something. The game never changed. You don't feel like a game is better just because everybody else is playing it and everyone's excited about it. A game's good or a game's not good. Breath of the Wild is the same game, but the excitement you feel about it could be different.
Yeah, and the excitement that you feel, I feel like genuinely alters your reality. Like the emotional soup that you begin. You know how when you wake up bad and it makes the whole day bad?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
it's like
I
that.
know
Your
what you- I know what you're
emotions
trying to
determine
say.
how much fun you're gonna have that day.
But
And
I'm like playing Final Fantasy 14 right now, and I'm not anywhere near where everybody else is, and I'm still loving the shit out of it.
Well, that's a game that's live. Many people are doing what you're doing right now.
Yeah, but I'm not really reading about that though.
I think I outlined my predictions for Death Stranding and how it's supposed to be this big, massive scale co-op event. That would totally fold right into it. Like, that would be a game that would like sell timeliness as one of its features.
Dark Souls
being
is like
there.
that.
Yeah, for like a big cooperative run in the beginning, before the Wikipedia is fully developed, before you can just look up cheat codes, and when you can talk to friends, and
Watch all the cutscenes on YouTube.
when you can talk to friends and they actually care about what you have to say. Like, that is a different experience. I mean, for me, it's not worth it because I like saving money more than I like that feeling, but that definitely is a real feeling.
Playing Dark Souls was, should I say, Demon Souls? And I mean, they're all the same. They're all the same. When I was playing it at launch, it was fun.
I got that with Bloodborne.
But when I played it later, I you miss seeing people fall and die, and having someone like jump in with you to fight somebody. You miss all that.
You know, it's nice being involved with that first rush of Bloodborne, but it's also nicer for me to put away some money in the savings account.
Yeah, the Sekiro thing this year, definitely. Everybody and discovering Sekiro at the same time
That was fun.
was
Not bad. No,
Interesting.
Okay.
yeah.
Are you feeling that now with Three Houses, actually? Like, have you gotten in a good
Yeah.
Twitter conversation with someone where you both are, like,
Yeah.
excited about what you're uncovering?
It's like, I don't know why more people don't do this. Like, everybody talks about Three Houses, but it's always the same thing. It's the what house did you choose? And it's great. It's like the best social media strategy of all time. Because
Hyper.
people are going to talk about it. It's like Pokemon. Like, whether they meant to or they didn't. Like, choosing a starter is like an age-on question that people are just going to talk about with every new Pokemon forever. And Fire Emblem Three Houses is like, nobody talks about like the gameplay. They just talk about what house did you choose and what characters do you have high supports in. Nobody could give a fuck about anything else.
It's hyper reality. That's what Baudrillard called it. And, you know, we use that term in games to talk about art styles that look prettier than reality. And that's what he thought it was like, living in a reality where...
That's what Fire Emblem is not.
It's drab. Yeah, if your reality is being made better by the emotional experiences of consuming products, then John Baudrillard would claim that you are living in a hyper reality, which is what you're buying into in a lot of times with these things. Anyways,
Cool. I embrace my hyper reality.
you know, we're all kind of guilty of it if we're into video games, aren't we?
True.
I criticize society, yet we live in it. Ha!
And with that,
That's what we got for today, guys.
Yeah.
We definitely have a lot of fun questions to get to next week. Next week, we'll be doing the Twitter segment, too, so keep an eye out on our Twitter accounts for fun questions we're going to be blasting through during next week's intro, because we won't be talking about Gamer Goo next week. Wait, no, unless it becomes a thing now, unless this is a new inside joke we've created.
Gamer goo.
Or unless David Hayter responds to us. Oh, maybe we could get David Hayter to make an advert for Gamer Goo.
Oh no, we don't know these people. We don't know these people. We don't know Gamer goo. We're like
Gamer Goo, give us $1,000 to make an advert with David Hayter.
David Hayter needs to take our money. Gamer Goo needs to give us money that we can give David Hayter.
And the world carried on. The cycle has continued.